Hello. Hello out there in coloring land, color tube. Is there anybody out there? Could be it's just going to be me today. Oh, there's one person. Hello, person. I don't know who you are yet. Chat hasn't popped up, so I'm sure that it will. Whoops. Only I made myself too small. Oh no. Oh no, I can't see myself. There we go. Oh, hello, Daryl Lynn. And hello, Shara. I've been thinking about you all week, my dear. I have. I saw your post about not getting to go to New Zealand, at least not for the foreseeable future. So I just wanted to give you a huge virtual hug and tell you that I love you and I know how you feel. I do. It is not fun, but thanks goodness for technology that we can all visit with the folks that we love. Speaking of, I got lots of good stories for y'all today. And Daryl Lynn, are you, by the way, Daryl Lynn, are you Daryl Lynn Aldridge? We share the same name, although I'm not certain we're related. I could be wrong. There is a Daryl Lynn Aldridge that follows my work, on Facebook. No, okay, so you're not that one. All right. So hey, I have two Daryl Lynns then. And so I'll start out by telling you the story of my toilet paper adventures. I started, of course, trying to get Walmart to deliver me some toilet paper. By the way, I'm actually here to deliver me some toilet paper. I don't know, 4 weeks ago now, and I kept ordering, because I was ordering my groceries, and I was actually ordering more often than I needed to, just hoping that that would be the week that they would actually deliver the toilet paper, because you have to spend $30 each time, and my usual budget at the grocery store is only 15. So thank goodness for the stimulus check. A lot of it went to Walmart. But so, like, for 3 weeks running, no toilet paper delivery. It would show it was in stock, but they just wouldn't deliver it the next day. It would either be gone or there'd be some excuse. And so I was able to get some, luncheon napkins and things like that that sort of served the purpose. But by the end of last week, I was getting pretty desperate. So I finally ordered it via their website. And unbeknownst to me, because I had posted that I was having this trouble on Facebook, unbeknownst to me, a friend of mine also ordered it for me through Walmart. So let's just say that this week I feel like a hoarder. Because apparently Walmart supply has now been fully replenished. Because I have not 18, not 36. I have 48 rolls of toilet paper. It's just so funny. I can hardly stand myself. And then the other thing, I am gonna color, guys. Happy birthday to this book. Does it seem like it was only a year ago? It was only 1 year ago that the best of CLAldridge mandalas came out. And it occurred to me as I'm looking at the calendar today, I'm going, man, it's the 17th. What out? I know that May 17th is like an anniversary, isn't it? And it occurred to me it was mandalas that came out. And so thanks to all of you guys out there in Coloring Land. This has been one of my very best selling books ever. And I am now going to shut up and say hi to Kim T. Welcome, honey. I am so glad to see you. And Melinda, thank you as ever. You are so faithful. And Jill, I got your email and I don't have an answer, but I'll find one for you. And Louise, I saw your empty train and the fact that you got to color on it, and it just made me smile. And Diana, welcome, welcome. I haven't seen anything on you this week, but I am going to color and cooking and lurking at the moment. Okay, good. Cooking is always good. Are we having Sunday chicken, Louise? That's what I want to know. And we are going to actually color, not that one because it's already colored. We're going to color this one. And, but I also want to take a moment here and warm up this color, this daylight light bulb. It's so blue. And I like my, oops, I'm hang on, I'm trying to find my camera controls here. Oop, there they are. Oh, and I want it to be just slightly not so blue. Yeah, that's a little better. That's closer to skin color. And, oh yeah, so I don't look dead. Okay, that's better. Good. It is Sunday chicken. Okay, good. Well, some people have a routine, Louise. I happen to be one of them. So I know. Hello, Beth Ann. Good to see you. And you're listening while you make lunch. Okay. Now, I also want to say a word about the sheer wonderfulness of all the stuff that is showing up on YouTube. And I mean, like I keep saying it week after week after week. I am just this huge music fan, musical fan, as well as music in general. And one of the things that Broadway singers especially will tell you is that you got to maintain the instrument. So so they are putting out so much wonderful stuff on YouTube. Ostensibly once again fundraising for their causes, but which are many, but it's like we all just get these wonderful benefits. Gary, it's great to see you. Glad you made it. I'm glad the internet is working. And it's just amazing, the generosity of these people. And then poor Andrew Lloyd Webber, whose cat was hit by a car like just a couple days before Cats premiered on Friday. And that was like, oh my goodness, that sucked. And he bore it well, but you could tell he was pretty sad, and you can't blame him for that. I'd be pretty sad too. Oops, I need to turn on the coffee so that it's not cold. And just hello to everybody who is here and who's come in. And we are celebrating mandalas. So, there was one thing, because I keep forgetting to do this. I know that you guys use these things when I put them in. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in now. and it is copy, and it'll be right here for you. Paste. There, it is the Easter egg discount that you get on any kind of books or pages that you order in my Etsy shop, just for you guys here in chat. I don't generally make that public, um, and I tell you that I turn it off after the streams, but I don't really. Y'all know that. So if you watch my streams, then you actually get that benefit. So, and anyway, it's hard to believe it's been a year. A lot of water has gone under the bridge since I released this, and 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 so anyway, uh, how are all of you doing, and how are your weeks progressing? Um, are you having a good time of it? Are you going stir crazy? Are you back at work? Like, I know Louise had to stay at work, um, but for those of you who might be working and have not actually, so tell me what's going on. And I will tell you that it is dangerous to travel down memory lane. And I'll talk about that in just a second. What I'm looking for is to find out if I'm in focus or not, or my screen. I realized the other day that I keep uh, the screen that I record on or that I stream on. I've got a big screen, but because I've got several things. Oh, Melinda, thank you so much for that super chat. You are so sweet. You are just so sweet. Um, you guys, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for supporting the arts of all, not just me, but arts in general, artists in general. It is just so kind of you. And artists, recognize and realize that, whether it's, me who does this kind of work, or a Broadway artist who, or a guy like Andrew Lloyd Webber, who's got more money than he needs. So he's, allowing his work, his hard, work product to be used to raise funds to support the industry that made him all that money. I just think I think it's lovely. I hope that we are able to keep this, that we're able to keep the spirit of the arts and sharing and all of that going, after all of this is, just a distant memory, although it doesn't look like it's going to be a distant memory anytime soon. Um, that is so, Melinda, thank you. Thank you. Uh, that is, and Melinda, I am still maintaining a coffee, I'm not in coffee deficit. I actually I've been good about keeping that spare can. So I always have, I order before I open before I open the last can, I order a new one to replace. Of course, I'm still out of sugar, but oh well. That's funny. Okay, so the dangers of traveling down memory lane. Nana, hello, my dear, and welcome, welcome. I am so happy to see you. Okay, so Corolla, and oh my goodness, did I have it? Barbara Zinger, and who else have I missed? Um, Hopefully, if I've missed you, please, Gary, I saw you. I know. Um, if I've missed you, please don't take it personally. Um, things are sort of rolling along. Anyway, I am using INKTENSE today. This is my book, Mandalas, and apparently I have left autofocus on. So let me see if I can get rid of that so that it stops doing that horrible thing on you. And twerking, what? Lurking and twerking. You can't stop. Wait, sorry, can't stop off to watch a film. Oh, okay. Off to watch a film with your grandy. Yay. Oh, that's wonderful though. But see, that way you can chat back and forth using that technology and talking about what you're watching. I just think that that is so amazing that you get to do that. Uh, and FaceTime and all of this. And I watched I've been watching, of course, a ton of videos, a ton of different kind, coloring videos and all this other stuff. I think it's pretty safe to say that I haven't had the TV on in a month. If it isn't on YouTube, I'm not watching it. And of course, I watch the World News or the PBS NewsHour, where they don't report the things that everybody else reports on. They actually report news, and then they shut up, which I love. They don't comment on it; they just report it. But okay, so the dangers of going down memory lane. Last week, I threatened, right, to send a message to my ex wishing him a happy early Social Security birthday. Well, I did that. And throughout that part of that conversation, it came up, we were talking about all the various friends and, there were parties that, we used to host and things like that. There was an annual Super Bowl party every year that apparently they're not doing anymore. He and his wife aren't doing it anymore and all of that. Well, that of course sent me down memory lane of remembering all those past parties and all the people that we were friends with, and whose kids were just little, just heck. I mean, most of them were born during the time that he and I were together, and now they're all graduating college. It's like, where did the time go? And and so for those of you, if you are of an age, you know what I mean. You get lost down memory lane. So I looked up all of these people, spent this whole week looking up all of these people on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google, and in some cases catching up with how they're doing. Um, you know, and folks I hadn't thought about in years who are all, we're all in the same boat, man. We're all at home. We're all, all of our kids are all, well, I don't have any kids, but their kids, and they're all facing graduations without commencement ceremonies, and we're all having to think of new ways to um, um, to communicate. Yes, exactly. You video chatted with a friend you haven't seen for several years. That's what I mean. This, if there is anything good that is coming out of this pandemic, I think it is the fact that we're all sort of reconnecting. And hello, CB. Connie, it's wonderful to see you, my dear. And I have been meaning to get to your channel, and something just it just comes up, and so I've been watching back little bits here and there. Oh, and yay! Oh, good. So is your country opening up, Corolla? So you get to go to the hairdresser? And it's just, I mean, it's just, So anyway, so I have some folks I've been able to connect with on Instagram, and some on Facebook, and some not at all. But I was able to learn about them, say through through Google, or things that they might have published, or whatever. And so it's just been sort of a really fun week. But before I even knew it, it was already Friday, and I hadn't done a midweek video. So I apologize, everybody, that for the third week this month, I did not do a midweek video. I will try and be, whoops. Let me introduce you to my flying pencil. This one likes to fly all over. In case you're wondering, I just picked a sort of a random, I've got the sun yellow, the cad orange, and the chili red are the colors that I'm working with. Hello, Darla. Good to see you. And Coriander is in the living room, stretched out on one of the boxes of the toilet paper. And because there is no room for them in the bathroom, so they are actually in their cases in the living room, and stacked up. I will be. I do. Do you need some? Yes, I have. I now have, through really no fault of my own. I ordered 12, and I was sent 36. So I now have 48. 48 rolls of toilet paper. I'm just, and anyway. So thank goodness I won't need toilet paper again for quite a while. Kathy, wonderful to see you. And exactly, Jill. She knows, and she's the TP guard cat. I love that. And yeah, I probably did need the downtime, Melinda. Uh, I have. I don't know. I don't know. I've been in this sort of weird, I don't want to call it a funk, because that's not really what it is. I mean, I'm not depressed. I'm just, I don't know. It's just been a weird, it's like I've been holding my breath. Barb, look at you. I saw Melinda talking you through that. I'm like, Barb Zenger, thank you very, very much for that super chat. You are amazing, and thank you so much for being a fan of my work and coloring, and thank you for the super chat. That is so kind of you. Um, I I come here to to be with my friends and folks who like my work, and and it's nice that that you guys do that, but it's not necessary. But I am so grateful, and thank you so very much. Um, Thank you so very, very much. Uh, oh, well, I'm very, very glad. I am. I have, by the way, I have a little. See, I drew this out. This when I'm drawing with a pen and I'm not really thinking about it. This is the kind of drawing that I do. I need it. This is why I go through so many erasers, because I can draw this by hand, but this is what I draw with a pen. Um, So that's why I pencil everything in and then I trace over it with a pen. Uh, but and I usually have like, I usually have a curve or something that I'm working on. Um, so I know what I'm doing as far as colors go. And Susan, Mama Wilkes, hey, how lovely to see you, my dear. And thank you so very much. And Katrina and Tanya, and oh my goodness, it's so lovely to see everybody. Okay, so now I've done those in red, and I am on the hunt for my green aquamarine. Ooh, love it. So I want my green aquamarine and my apple green. Is that right? Nope, that's the spring green. I always make that mistake. Move that. Go with the apple green, the green aquamarine, and the dark aquamarine is what I want. All right. There we go. So what I'm going to do is a blue fade. Let's see here. So we're going to go with the green up here. At least this is what I'm hoping I'm going to do. I'm going to concentrate on this for just 1 second to make sure that I do it right. And then once I get the first one, hopefully I'll know, and then I can talk and do this at the same time. I do have my plastic sheet behind, and this is the green aquamarine. I think, yeah, this is the green aquamarine. So I'm just coming down lightly with that. And it doesn't look like it's very bright, but the Inktense is deceiving in how dark it actually can be. So better to err on the side of caution and have it not be enough color, because you can always add more color. It's hard to come back from too much color. So just making sure. I've also been keeping these weird hours again. I wake up at midnight and I'm up until, like 7 a.m. Then I want a nap. So, then I sleep all morning. And then I get up again. Sure, my body is completely confused. All right, so see how that works? I like the way that looks. So that is that's the tricolor blend of the apple green, the green aquamarine, and the dark aquamarine. And I'm working the brush, I'm, dabbing it off on a paper towel. Paper towels. Oh, I actually have 12, or actually, yeah, 12 rolls. No, I have 6 double rolls. That's what I have. I have 6 double rolls of paper towels. That is just amazing. After not being able to get any at all for what, a month? Okay, so that is what I'm going to do with that. And let's do another one. And weird hours are your norm, but yeah, I've tried so hard to make new habits. I am a true night owl, Kathy. You got it. And I always have been. Always have been. And I have always, even as a little kid, I was a night owl. And oh, it used to kill me to have to get up to go to school. So, but I mean, when you're a kid, you do it. You don't, because there really isn't any choice. And I would go to, I would go to. My mother tells me that I used to sleepwalk, and I don't believe that I do it anymore. At least I hope. At least I'm not aware of it if I do. And yes, I am rich in paper products. And the I mean, I didn't like get up and walk around of my own accord, but she said that I would fall asleep in front of the TV. I would be, I'd lay on the floor in front of the TV and watch, and then I would. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my hand out of the shot. Um, and she would say that she used to be able to say to me, Christine, get up and go to bed, and I wouldn't move, but she would come and tap me on the shoulder, and I would stand up and go to bed, but I had no memory of it. Absolutely no memory of that at all. The following morning, I remembered falling asleep in front of the TV, but not, not anybody waking me up and sending me to bed. So I must have been sleepwalking, right? Uh-oh. Is somebody trying to tell me something? Something about like the message I said. Oh, are you? I love it. Shara is actually, we have a group chat. and Shara is over there liking comments that I made, apparently. And it's ringing on my phone here. Anyway, so, I've always been a night owl. Always. Given my druthers, I would so much rather, wake up at midnight and go to bed at, like 4 in the afternoon. That's just perfect hours for me. I like the way that looks. And you were responding to getting alerts. Okay, got it. And okay. And okay. So I cannot believe it has been a year since I released this book. It's about time that I release a new one, because I released, because I released one at Christmas, right? Yeah, I did, or right before Christmas, because that's when I released Dragons. So I'm about due for a book. It's mid-year and I haven't put out a new book. Uh-oh. I might have to do that, huh? I'm working on it. I realized the other day that when I was able to put this new computer on my desk to do videos, that I unfortunately was not able to move my book software over to it, mostly because the book software that I have does not run on Windows 10, does not run for free on Windows 10. I was able to license a copy of the full version of Microsoft Office when I worked for a magazine doing editing work for them. And so when I quit that job, it's still resident on my laptop, so I can use it, and that's what I make my books with, is Microsoft Publisher. But I can't put it on this computer because I can't, it's the software is just too expensive. You have to, commit to buying it every month, and it's like renting it. And so I do everything on the big computer, but I build my books on the little computer. So it's like I spent a lot of time in there yesterday getting drawings ready for publishing. So I am getting some work done. Which book this is? Oh, this is Mandalas. This is the Best of CLAldridgeArt Mandalas. It's the only truly mandala book that I've ever done. It won't be the last because they are fairly popular, but it's the little square one, the one that I released last year, and it was doing so well, and then stuff happened, and people decided they hated me, and they stopped buying my book. We all remember that, right? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's put it this way. I'm just glad that whole episode finally resolved itself, and we'll call it good. But yeah, that was the release of this book, and so it's hard to believe it's been a year. It's been a year. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, you have almost finished this book. 3 more to go. Susan, you have been so wonderful about posting your pictures in the group and all of that. I'm telling you what, it's folks like you who kept me going through all of that stuff that happened, and so I just want to say thank you so very, very much. It is, it is tough. So, and I bet you, a lot of people go through stuff like that where, somebody decides that they're going to say something that isn't true about you. And what do you do? How do you fix it? How do you, how do you, I'm a nobody, and, with a tiny following, I can't imagine how folks that are huge, that have huge followings, and like the like TV and singers and all of that other kind of stuff. I can't imagine how they endure it. They just have to. I bet you they have really good counselors. I mean, really good counselors, and hopefully people who keep them away from, because I mean, I just had to deal with it, myself, and it was just, well, it's, yeah, but that's, but see, that the thing about it is it had to be somebody, right? So I'm glad that it was me and not somebody who couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? I think that one of the things that I had said is that if I have to stand in this fire, to prevent it from ever happening to anybody else, then that's what I'll do. And so that is, and that is how it went. But that's okay, because you know what? I survived. My book survived. It still sold more copies than I ever anticipated it would, and I'm just pleased as punch the way that, the way that, and now everybody knows the truth. So it's like, wow. And all of that happened in a year. So, and like I say, I've been lost down memory lane this whole week, just sort of lost down the 20 years ago memories of, and there's the other thing, boy, you want to feel old, talk to your ex and then realize it's been 18 years since you saw one another. 18 years. It's like, oh my goodness, it feels like it was yesterday. Or maybe not yesterday, but certainly just within the last few years, right? 18 years. Just, this is the dark. I've got the dark, so I'm just going to go with the dark down here. And just remembering all of the little, all of the little things, the coffee by the bedside in the morning. Boy, I tell you what, I miss that. And the just the knowing, that come every Super Bowl Sunday, there was going to be a house full of people and lots and lots of good food because everybody cooked, and they'd all bring their specialty. We would do the chili and the beer. So we'd do a big pot of chili and a keg of beer, and then everybody else would bring, all the side dishes and other dishes and desserts and wine and yeah, there are just some people that age like that, Shara. And there's, and keep in mind though that she's got worldwide professionals that keep her looking like that. So don't there is, believe me, she would look like us if she didn't have all of that. The fancy skin doctors and all of that. She's got obviously beautiful structure to begin with, and a lot of that is genetics. So never feel bad, and don't compare yourself to somebody else. I can't do that. I don't ever try to, because I'm happy with who I am, and so maybe that's why. Gosh, I do miss being able to turn heads when I walked into a room, though. I've got to say that honestly, because that hasn't happened for a long time. Yeah. So I like this. I like the way that this is going. Of course, I love INKTENSE to begin with. So this is just, to me, this is just an exercise in sheer pleasure to do this. You're learning so much about color thanks to me. Really? Color is actually my weak blah. You know what I mean, right? And I'll tell you what, Daryl Lynn, what I do is if I see something, I am a monkey see, monkey do kind of person. So if I see a color scheme that I like, I write it down or I snap a photograph of it or something along those lines, and then I use it. I'm shameless about it. I just, if it's a beautiful color scheme, now this is what I call my Fiesta scheme. It is the color that all Caribbean fiestas are. There's always the bright reds and yellows and oranges and the lime greens and the turquoises and all of that. So that's what this is. This is just that adapted to to a different purpose. Contrasting colors, complementary colors, like this is the orange and green, or the orange. I'm sorry, this is the yellow fade to red, and opposite the orange on the color wheel is the turquoise blue. So if you use the blue and green like that, it makes turquoise here, and so it's the perfect. It's the perfect offset. It's the perfect contrast. That's what I'm looking for. I'm like, I was listening to Ramin Karimloo, who is he's the Phantom of the Opera, the one that did the recording or the live at Albert Hall that we're all so familiar with, but he doesn't read music. I mean, he's this absolutely incredible singer who doesn't read music. So, everything is by ear. So you adapt your method or your you supplement your weaknesses with your strengths. His is he can hear a tune and hum it back to you. Mine is I can see it. I'm a visual. I see a color scheme that I find pleasing, like this one. Excuse me. This is weird colors. Come on, guys. This is weirdness. But look at how wonderfully it goes together. And you would not have thought that, if I'd have said, yeah, I'm going to do it with the kind of army green and, and burnt orange and burgundy and turquoise, you'd have gone, what? But your mind is if you see someone use it, you have to buy it. Hey, if you can afford it, more power to you. It's not like, at this particular point, you're not putting kids through college. You're not, your kids are grown up. They're done doing all of that kind of stuff. You got no one to look out for but you, Shara, and your son, Rafi, who is, is that his name? I hope so. Who can actually look after himself now because he is an adult. Go for it. If you want to indulge in every coloring supply out there, I was so delighted, absolutely delighted to see that a friend of mine who we all know, but I'll just not name her because those of you who know who I'm talking about will know, and those of you who don't, but let's just say that somebody who has more diamond paintings than she could ever know what to do with, but had never actually done one. She finally did one and completed it this week and posted a picture of it, and I'm just so thrilled because that means that whatever the spell was that was keeping her from doing them has been broken. So, and that was the little silent prayer that I would send up for her. Whatever it is that is ailing her, I hope that she gets over it. So it was good to see that is the case. Doesn't matter what your hobbies are, whether they're coloring or diamond painting or if they bring you pleasure and having those supplies means something to you, then and not buying a plane. Yeah, exactly. You're not buying plane tickets, exactly, which is sad. But we all get. New Zealand, for heaven's sakes, New Zealand had what, like 40 deaths and no more. And they really, really got it under control fast and furious, and they shut their borders, and and it worked. It worked. Yes, it was. And me too, Louise. I saw that you had commented on it too. And I mean, I'm just so glad to see it. I was really glad to see it. It made me smile, made my day. And I can't believe I'm actually talking and managing to work too, and read the chat. At least most of it. You have to memorize songs. You don't read music either. Uh, and okay, there we go. They only had 28, I think. I love the PM. New Zealand only had 21. Wow. See, compared to what, 90,000 probably today? Let's not talk about that because I watched the hearings this week. Now there was kind of an interesting thing. No blame. No, I'm not talking about blames, and so because, like I said, man, there is more than plenty of blame to go around. All parties, all, because this is not a problem that developed overnight, man. Shortages of stuff, and that did not just happen. That was a series of all kinds of administrations that ignored the dire warnings of people who tried to say, hey, you know, we are so addicted to low prices that we put way too many eggs in this one basket, and that the basket is in danger of tipping over. And sure enough, that is exactly what happened. So I just hope that we learn better for the future. I just hope because mistakes happen. I mean, people make mistakes. But if you don't learn from the mistakes, or you keep letting history repeat itself, then is when then you can start placing all kinds of blame. But you can't hold people accountable for stuff they couldn't help. But you can hold them accountable for failure to listen to people who were saying, because these people are rightfully now saying, hey, we told you so. So, and the world, I mean, it's not just a U.S. problem. This is a world problem, guys. So every country in the world, make sure that if you got something that is going to become critical, make sure you got some of it. Or have a way to get it without relying on somebody else. So, now New Zealand has under 5 million people. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, he does actually. The it's just it's been so gosh, and we really do have to open the economy. We really do. All those people who are suffering, I don't know what the answer is. I guess is if we do it carefully. I know that it is ultimately my responsibility to look out for me as far as uh, my health and safety. So I will, when I go out, because I have an underlying lung condition, if I were to get this kind of virus, heck, if I were to get the common cold, it might kill me. So, yeah, my responsibility. It's my responsibility to look after my own health. So that's what I'm going to do. People want to look at me like I'm crazy if I'm out there wearing a mask. I don't care. I really don't. All right, now I want a purple. And let's see. Whoops, sorry. Didn't mean to talk to the ground. You can't hear me if I'm talking to the ground. Let's see what kind of a purple I want. Here is my Inktense. I think I'm going to go with the... I think I am going to go with the deep violet. Were you able to see that? The deep violet. Oh, it doesn't look purple there, does it? Yeah, the deep violet. Deep violet. Yes, that Prime Minister has done an absolutely marvelous job. There it is, the deep violet. But then so many have. So, like I say, plenty of time for plenty of room. Going to go around this way, although I could be wrong. But I want to also add in some of the thistle, which is a lighter purple. I just want to see if I can. I may end up, excuse me. I may end up doing this pink. We'll try the first one. So this is a deep violet. And I'm just being very, very light with that. But I'm also adding in a little of the thistle, which is a different sort of lighter purple. Now let's see how that looks. And yeah, I will definitely be wearing my mask when I go out. I mean, obviously not if I'm in a place that has a lot of, that has people and people are not maintaining social distancing. I will have no problem being like Gary. our friend Gary, who says, hey, back off. Oh, I like that. Okay. So purple. Purple is good. So now why did I choose purple? Well, because purple is a good contrast to that light green. So you see how we're working? So I contrasted the yellows and the oranges, which are the primary colors, with that dark blue. So you get a good position of the colors there, or contrast of the colors there. And then the lighter green with the darker purple gives you also a good contrast. Okay, boomer. No, but sounds good to me. All right, so now I'm going to try this a little bit differently. This time I'm going to use the lighter purple, which is the thistle, more to the inside and more of it, because I think I do like that lighter purple. So sometimes it takes me a couple of, working on a couple of them to figure out exactly what I want to do. Okay. Then if I use the darker purple, although I think maybe I do want that darker purple around that. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this one goes. So I'm sort of sticking with the dark, and then I'll do the light in between there. Like that. Gosh, I sure hope you guys can see that. Can't believe I'm taking a so your response to this, little millennial, you'll be okay. Oh, okay. I'm confused. And this has to do with the okay boomer. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what that means, man. I don't speak millennial for the most part. All right, now. Well, excuse me. Trying to cough over there and not over here. Read the above comment. Okay. It's a diss at the elderly. Oh. My son says it, but I'm not technically a boomer. Oh, okay. So we are the baby boomers. Is that what you're trying to say? I am a baby boomer. I was born in the, I think 59 was it the last of the boomers? Because when was Korea over? I don't know. We got into, technically the baby boomers were the generation that was born after World War II. When all the soldiers came home and there were a flurry of births 9 months later. (1963) was the last of the boomer year. Okay, got it. All right. You are not 67, Shara. You are 50 something, right? Oh, you're born in 67. Sorry. I was born in 59. Hello. Okay. That's like, wow. That just floors me. It's like my dad. My dad was born in well, my grandmother was born in 1900. So she would be 120. My dad was born in 21. So he would be 99 on whenever his birthday is this year. It's just amazing to me. Oh, I like this. I like the way that this color scheme is happening. Ooh, yay. Okay, so yeah, I am liking this. These are good colors, guys. I did good. I don't always, but this time I did. I can show you some examples of where I missed the mark, that's for sure. I say color selection is my weak suit, or my weak weak, which is why I've studied it. Yeah, that memory lane, boy, that was a dangerous place to be. Your kids are 91, 96, and 97, the years. Oh my goodness. And 96. Wow. 1970. Oh, good. Okay. Well, that's why I do them. I do them to inspire you guys. I hope that that you are inspired, and I hope, because this book is still doing fairly well in sales. I will say that, boy, well, primarily because it's hard to know. The artists, by the way, are still trying to figure out if KDP is actually printing books and mailing them. I have quite literally only sold 20 print books this month. Yeah, that is so scary. That is so freaking scary, which is why those super chats are so nice. Thank you so very, very much. I try. Maybe that's why I spent all week on memory lane, so I wouldn't have to think about that. But back to memory lane, because it's fun. It's a good place to visit. My problem is that I get sort of obsessive about stuff like that, and in finding out, trying to puzzle together. I like to puzzle it together rather than, contact the person directly. So, so I, read a lot of Facebook posts and, try and figure out what's going on. So at least I have an idea. I looked up a friend of mine not that long ago, and it was, within the last couple of years, and I could just tell by every Facebook post that he had written in the last 10 years that he was wallowing, absolutely wallowing in grief over his deceased wife. Now, I completely get, grief, and it's not up to me to judge, but you could tell that it was not healthy. It was not a healthy kind of grief. And ultimately, I checked on his Facebook page, and a guy who is same age as me, and he's dead. He just did not want to live here without his wife. So now he's dead. So you don't, that memory lane thing, that can be a double-edged sword, is really what I'm saying with that. So don't go there if you can't come back. For a week or so, KDP prints were shipping 7 days out. Now they're 4 days. Oh, terrific. Thank you, Melinda. All right, I feel better about that. So they're still not available Prime, but at least they are, in fact, shipping. Okay, that is good. Okay. Genesis. Oh my goodness. I love them. Phil Collins. Yeah, not my, exactly. Yeah. Well, we're all having to, we're all having to get used to a new normal. I guess Amazon is probably no exception. I do imagine that folks who are paying for Prime, though, are a little upset about that. Hopefully, they are being understanding that this is not the norm and that there are, speaking from absolute experience, I can tell you that it is hard to lay your hands on meats. It is hard to get, it's getting harder to get certain kinds of foods. I do not know what is going to happen come fall or, come summer when we've got, we've already got farmers turning under fields because there A is no market for it and B there's nobody to pick it. So you would think that some of these, never mind. I think that some of these out of work people would want to pick those plants, but no, they don't want those jobs. Of course not. So that's stop it. See, there's a reason why I'm not allowed to talk about things like that. As an artist, I have no opinion on anything except my art. Not allowed to have political opinions or, or anything like that. So certainly not out loud. I've seen somebody recently going through that, an artist who I love and respect, but whose Facebook posts recently have caused me to rethink both. So I am not ever going to let that happen to myself. And my friend Virginia will never let it happen because I did get weak at one point in time. I posted something. She came after me with a pitchfork. Not a pitchfork. She came after me with a wooden spoon. I am telling you what, it was. She wrote me a note that was the equivalent of taking a beating with a wooden spoon about, career suicide and you never know who, because folks are going to be quiet and they're not going to, they're just going to go away. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, fine. So I took down the post. It was up for like a grand total of 20 minutes. So I took it back down. Yes, she is a good friend. She is a good friend. But you what? Let me tell you what, Jill, you don't ever want to get on her bad side. she can deliver a whipping like nobody I ever saw. And I love her dearly. I absolutely love her dearly. She's my right hand in the group, of course, and she's just such a lovely human being, as a general rule. unless you do something stupid. she is one who has had, because she is an artist as well, who has created a large number of really uh, adorable and wonderful cross stitch patterns, and seeing those duplicated and copied and all of that by the by the Chinese market, and it's just very sad. So I am liking it. I am liking this a lot. These are great colors together. I'm going to mark this one down. I'm going to like it. Of course, it's in my book, so I can always know where it is. But if you ever wonder, that's certainly why I don't post anything. I like a few things. You know, I will go out on a limb. Yes, that actually, you know what, Melinda, that's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. If she didn't care, she would not have bothered to scold me. Uh, Barb, that just breaks my heart. I mean, I was shocked at how cheap a bag of Idaho russets was. I mean, I really was, because Idaho russet potatoes are wonderful. You're saying the farmers were giving them away rather than, yeah, because potatoes, you can't really turn, well, I guess you can't really turn under potatoes. All they do is rot. So I guess maybe good, but it's just amazing. I know come summer, it's going to be so hard to lay your hands on fresh produce. Yes, a fearsome friend. Your friends are the ones willing to tell you the truth, you know? They really are. You may not always like it, but they are your friend to tell it to you. You may not realize it at that moment, but it is definitely the case. Because if they didn't care, they wouldn't bother. All right, now I am going to use a gold, the Sienna Gold, for this, but ultimately I am going to be using a gold, not gel pen, but the gold watercolors, you know, like because I have those watercolors that I made, these ones here. And so I'll be using one of the metallics to do this, but I just want to mark it because it needs a base underneath it, even if you put the metallic over it. And it's the same one that I used here. I think it was this one. Yeah, okay. So that's what I'm going to do with it, is a border on it that's got the gold like that. But I like to put a base underneath it. That way, if I miss a tiny spot, it doesn't show. So we'll do that. Plus, that gold is a good contrast against that purple. So that is really the key when you're changing colors like that on elements. If you go for the highest contrast value that you can between your elements, each one of them will stand out. Now you need to be careful if you're doing that on a picture that is a bunch of different things all together, because usually you're looking for a primary focus point on something like that. But for this, the whole thing is the focus point. And I gotta say that I like that color scheme. I really like it. I like this one. I like it a lot. And of course, you don't have to lay down a lot of pigment, but I am putting it down sort of fairly dark. That way, if I don't get back to it right away with the gold, because that's a tedious job, you need a small liner brush to do it well. You know, like maybe a number 1, or this is a number 0. So, you know, the key really is patience and a small brush when you're doing little fine line work like that. But if you use a liner brush as opposed to you can use this, because look at how fine the tip is. But the water brush with the watercolor, I think it washes out. You end up having to put 2 coats. Whereas if you use a real brush, where you're able to control the amount of water to paint ratio, I think it works better. Did I really just put my water brush away? I did. Duh. Okay, so now what are we going to put on the in-between? And I think that what we're going to do, which the in-between is this area here. So we need something to contrast with the gold. And I am thinking that it should be a pretty dark blue. So I'm on a roll here. So I'm just going to keep going with this because I can. So I chose the sienna gold. Oh, and then I've been trying to perfect my recipe for scones. Ooh, biscuits. I've been watching so many scone recipes that I forgot that here in America we call them biscuits. And so I made Jamie Oliver's version today. Actually, he made Irish soda bread. And so I made that today. And it was okay. It's bread. You know, it's good. But it's bread. It's not. There's nothing sweet really about it, and I didn't have any fruit to put in it. So thank you, Louise. I've been wondering if anybody was actually still talking, or if you're all just listening to me. And I am liking the way this one is turning out. Such a pretty color scheme. And no, I just went all silent on you. I'm sorry. As blue is, I'm thinking about the blue that I want to put in between, in there. Do I want it to be a dark blue, a light blue? And if I do a dark blue, is it going to get lost? So my brain is thinking all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, I have now fully come back from memory lane, realizing that 18 years ago, made the very best choice that I could possibly have made to go ahead and start a new life somewhere else. So sometimes you have to go down memory lane to affirm that you are right where, because I think about it, if I hadn't made the choice to, to leave, well, it was a mutual choice. I can't say that it was me; it was mutual. But who would any of us be if we had made different choices in our lives? And that is such a fascinating question to me. Because we are sort of the sum of the choices that we make in our lives. So who would I be if I were still in Nevada and if I were still that person that I was when I lived there? I mean, I am still the same person, but would I have art in my life? In this form? I mean, I always had art, but would I have ever taken up drawing? I don't know. Would I, now be retiring from a cushy desk job or thinking about retiring from a cushy desk job? I'll tell you, one of the things that killed me is that I looked at the value of that house. Eee, huh, huh. I would like to still own that house. Remember my 3,000 square foot rock house with the 3 feet thick walls, and yeah. He still lives there. Lives in my house. That's my house. He wouldn't own that house if I had insisted that we buy it. Back when it wasn't worth hardly anything. It is just amazing to me about real estate and how it goes up. In certain parts of the country and down in others. But so who would any of us be? Who would he be the same person if I was still there, or because I honestly don't know anything about his life other than what he's willing to say. And our anytime we email, anytime you email anybody that you were involved with, I don't know about you guys, but it's all about careful wording. Yeah, careful wording. Say as little as possible. Say as much as possible about other people and absolutely nothing about yourself is how it is. All right, I like it. One of the reasons why I'm actually finishing elements today instead of working in quarters out is because I've noticed that I've gotten really bad at keeping track of what colors that I'm using and all of that, and it's just easier to finish a element, and that way I don't have to worry about what color I used if I don't finish them all in the same sitting. I think I've already wet that one, haven't I? Oh, it's this one that I missed. Hang on a second. I'm going to mute it for just a sec. Sorry about that. I cannot breathe. So I had to blow my nose, and I'm not sure that's going to help much, but hopefully it will. Actually, if I stop talking for a little bit, it will. But that would mean that somebody would have to talk. Hi, Corolla. Okay, all right, Corolla. You have to go give Coriander a hug. I will. Exactly, Louise. Exactly. And you know, who would we be? Who would we be if we were not the people we are? If we had not made, you know, the choices that we did. And yeah, it's good to, you know, it's good to think about those things. But once again, you don't want to get lost there. And I kind of got lost there this week, wondering this, that, and the other thing. And it was good to take a trip down memory lane, but I'm glad that I came back. Really glad that I came back. All right, we need a blue. And I don't know. I'm thinking the deep blue. On the other hand, because see, this is black. So maybe the sea blue. Let's try the sea blue. You know what? I hardly ever use that sea blue. So let's see first if we can find it. Sea blue. There it is. Because I don't really remember what color this is. It's got a nice sharp point, I can tell you that. See, I'm trying to be a little tighter or a little darker around the edges, but a little lighter in the middle. And I may yet mix a different blue in there as well. We'll see. I may not need to. Because sea blue is sort of a bluey green. I think that would be pretty. It's different than the, because this is more of a, the green aquamarine, that's more of a parrot green. So I'm just doing a little bit darker down there at the points, a little darker around the two edges, and then just a little bit lighter right up the center. Just amazing. Okay. Let's see how this worked out. My little... Oh yeah, see, I love that blue. Don't know if this is gonna work or not, but we're gonna see. I think we're gonna have to wait for this one to dry before the jury can be completely in, but I don't think it's gonna be a bad choice. And we could always darken it up to a darker blue if we wanted to. But I like the fact that I think that that lighter center is going to hold. Sometimes when you are working in a space this tight with a color, it's hard to get the center to stay light for you. But I think this is actually going to we'll see. Part of it also is being sure to to dab off any extra bits of pigment at regular intervals so that you're not going over your lightest spot with a brush full of the dark pigment. I'm really just barely touching it with the brush. Once again, this brush puts out a ton of water, so you don't have to, I don't think I've ever had to squeeze this brush except to clean it. And it's rapidly becoming, of course, because my favorite brush is gone. So this is the brush I use most often, and I'm really learning to like it. Okay. So there's that. I think I can live with that. What do you think? Any darker would, yeah. I think any darker would get lost as well. And I think that if it, that once it dries, it will be a little lighter still. And of course, I chose it because I wanted something that would contrast, but not, but not overpower the golds that I want to put in. Because remember that all of this, even though this orange here or this sienna gold, it's just a placeholder. There's going to be, the much brighter, shinier gold to sort of outline each petal here. So these, they are lost for a little bit, but they're going to be found again when we put the other shades in. Or, when we do the gold for the, so I'm always thinking about, all right, so now if we do that and then we just leave that just a little bit light so it looks like a point. All right, and so now here is where, let's discuss this for a second, because you guys as colorists need to decide, are these little bends, are they convex bows like this, or are they like this? So are they points that you're looking on top of? Are they points, or are they divots? I say that the lightest spot should always be here at the top, and these are divots. So I did the shading on this exactly wrong. So this should be dark here, and then it should go gradually lighter. So in other words, if this is the divot, we want that to be dark, and this part over here to be the lighter. So that way, because the divots are always dark. And I'll show you what I mean here as well. We need to decide what color should be the surround. Now this one can be dark in the, or, you know, this one can be dark and light here in the center because it's at the top of the curve. This one right here. So they're going to alternate dark in the center, light in the center, dark in this, light in the center, dark in the center. Does that make any sense to any of you? Because you're looking at it from the top, so it's like it's hard to explain. All right. So this one is dark down here, lighter up there. This one is dark down here. And this one's just dark everywhere because it just, it's the one I messed up. So it's just going to be dark everywhere. And then this one is the light one since it's at the top of the curve. So we'll do the sides where it's darkest first. Then we'll do a little bit down the center. And so hopefully that will lend to that feeling that it is, you know, circular. Now I'm going to go back to this red, which was our center color here. This is the chili red. And I'm going to repeat this pattern here. So I'm going to do red in the divot, which is our dark color. This maybe will help to illustrate a little bit more what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to use the cadmium orange. Pull that in. And then the yellow, which is the sun yellow. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm glad that made sense to somebody anyway. Okay, so there is the yellow. I'm also going to add a little bit of yellow in on top of all of that. Okay, so I may yet lament this particular choice, but I've already set a pattern. You know, I don't want to add more colors at this point. I want to use the colors differently than I did here, but some things can still be the same. So we'll do that. Pulling that into the orange. And when you see my hand disappear, it's because I am wiping off over here. Okay. Oh, I like it. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, it's shiny and pretty. And okay, so now let's see. Let's go back to the blues because I want to. That's the sea blue. Oh, that's what I was using, right? I was using the sea blue. Okay. So this one is dark. I wonder if my camera, I think I might have my camera actually turned around the wrong way. Maybe not. Because I'm looking like I'm left-handed. I'm not left-handed, I promise. But then I remember to you guys it appears that I'm right-handed. Okay, never mind. I'm just having a moment, having a senior moment. All right, so that's light, dark in the divot, dark here, where it's coming out from underneath those two little guys. Okay, so let's do this. So this one is dark. Dark to light. And dark to light. And now we'll do one more divot. And then I think I might have to yield to the next streamer. But I just got started. I don't want to stop. Oops, sorry. Hopefully I am still in focus, everybody. Am I still in focus? Would your picture like to get married? Because I love it. Your eyes are happy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, I have to say I'm sort of liking this one a little bit. And of course, I will change up the colors a little bit, but the way that I use them. But it's okay. So now we can add just a little bit of the yellow again. And the reason why I'm coloring over so many times is because I'm just really letting the pencil do the work, and it's not putting down a whole lot of pigment. Divot, divot, orangey, orangey, yellow. Just like that. And so it's all looks like a ribbony flowing around the thing. And hello, Donna. It's so wonderful to see you, my dear. You've been lurking, but thanks. And thank you, Donna. I appreciate it. And you're here to the end, not leaving yet. Okay, that's good. I'm just looking at the clock. It says 3:59. I was 10 minutes late coming on, but that is not the next streamer's fault. But hopefully they will oh, actually, you know what? It is Cal's Crafts, I believe. I could be wrong. She may have been up there for a while. I have not been looking. But I know that there are a lot of people that stream in the next segment. I know Do you know that my Fiona Art streams, the one who, whoops, Joe Beth just started. Okay, so Joe Beth is streaming, and so maybe I should just go ahead and yield. All right. So once again, congratulations on Mandala being 1 year. Happy birthday to being 1 year old. As I now approaching senior citizen, which is Flowers and Dreams, which has been out since 2016. This particular one version of it was the re-released version, which I did on its 1 year birthday in 2017. That's when I put the new cover on it and got rid of the handwritten CLAldridges and started putting the typewritten in. So that was, and put more images in this book as well. So that's what happened there. And so I do want to say thank you to each and every person who chose to spend some time with me today. And I know that your time is valuable. So I like to give you a good product and hopefully an enjoyable time. If you like what you saw or heard, if you would leave a kindly worded comment or hit the like button, that would be great. And thank you so very much to both Barb Zinger and to Melinda for the super chats. That is so kind of you. Thank you, everybody. Here is once again the 25% off coupon for my Etsy shop. If you just use that link, it takes you right in there. You can buy anything you want, and it'll automatically take the 25% off. Go watch Joe Beth Sexton or Cal at Cal's Crafts and have an absolutely brilliant week. I'll try to do a midweek video until we meet again. Please, from Coriander and myself, color something pretty. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here.